In Photoshop, I have opened an image of Jacob the robotic arm, a product I use from time to time in my work. And we normally take studio shots every so often of this product or other products that we have. And I have to erase the background. So right now it's a white backdrop. And one way to do that most people would probably do is use the magic wand tool. Select that and click on the white and then just hit delete. So what that does is it deletes the background of the image. So now there's no white background. But the magic wand tool isn't perfect, so it'll leave a lot of rough edges. It could even delete something. If there was some really harsh white on the gray areas touching that white, it could delete those areas. And that can be a problem. So in order to avoid that and work in a more safer manner, what I can do, one thing you can do is you can use the magic wand tool if you have a large area of white like this. You could even use the pen tool, and I could trace all around the entire object using the pen tool, which I've done before. And I can use that to make the selection instead of the magic wand tool. But for ease of this video, I'm going to use the wand tool there, as you can see, have it selected. Now I selected the background instead of the arm. So now I want to kind of reverse the selection or inverse the selection. And the way to do that is Control-Shift-I. Or you can go to so when you have a selection, go to Select Inverse. It'll be Control-Shift-I. So now it's selected on the arm instead of the background, and that's kind of what I wanted. So now I can click down here in the Layer panel, click on this rectangle with the circle in it, Add Layer Mask. So now it masked out the background, leaving the arm. And you'll notice here there's a layer mask added with a black background and then the white robotic arm. So when you're selected on this mask, the only colors you can use are black and white, and I believe gray of some sort. Black, white, or gray. So by using black and white, as you can see here on the layer mask, you can either subtract or add to your selection that you have. So if I use black, which is the background color, I can erase some of this arm. And now it's not erased forever. I can paint it back with white. White will paint back the arm and also the background. So you have to be careful with that, mainly for painting on the layer mask, is if touching up, if the magic wand missed a few areas, you can use white or black and very easily touch something up, make something a little more subtle, soften some edges and some lines. But what the layer mask can also do is now I can go back to the main layer, and if I paint on this layer, since the background is masked out, it won't paint on the background, it will only paint on the arm, on your selection. So this can be very useful depending on what your need is and what project you're working on. Now I wouldn't necessarily need to paint anything on this arm, but maybe I can duplicate the layer, and now I can use this layer, the new layer. I can add some darker shadows in some places, maybe just in a few areas. So I can use some black and then just turn the opacity down on the whole layer. So see, I can add some subtle shadows in certain areas on the fingers or wherever, whatever the need may be. There may not be any need to do this, but that's something you can do, and it will not mess with the background. So now I can throw some color or something behind it, give it some life. I can add it into any kind of environment. I mean, depending on your photo, there's a lot of different things you can do. And also, since it was on a white background, there may be some, depending on what background you are, there may be some white highlights or edges. And one way to deal with this is to add an inner shadow to your entire object. So there it is without the inner shadow, and when I turn this inner shadow on, it kind of gives a nice effect. So there's a little bit about using layer masks and masking, and how it can really be beneficial to do something like this instead of just erasing your entire image. You can also, I usually try to, when I have the mask needed that I want, I try to duplicate the layer and then just hide to keep a copy of it, just in case. So I can now I can mess with this layer, and if I need to ever go back to the original, I have the original saved right here that I can use. So there's a few things. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it made sense, and hope you can apply it to any project you're working on and in the future. And there's so many different things you can do with these. The things are endless. Possibilities are endless. So anyway, like and subscribe if you wish to see more. I'd appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Peace.